Oh my God. You want to talk about audacity? Let me tell you about the time the local HOA decided they were at some luxury eco retreat and set up camp right next to my ranch pond, the same pond my cows and horses use as their own private bathroom. I'm not even kidding. Picture this sunrise coffee in my hand, expecting a normal Saturday where I feed the animals and maybe spend some time with my daughter Emma, who's 12 and smarter than most adults I know. But when I walk onto my back porch, I see tents. Not just any tents, fancy color-coordinated Instagram influencer-looking tents strung with Edison bulbs like some Pinterest fever dream. There are about 15 adults all decked out in high-end hiking gear doing stretches and setting up what looks suspiciously like a wedding reception, but smelled like Lululemon and entitlement. Right at the center of this circus is Victoria Sterling, the HOA president. Think blonde, always perfectly put together makeup that probably costs more than my monthly feed bill, and a voice that could cut glass. She's leading a sunrise meditation facing my pond, acting like she's discovered Aspen, Colorado, and brought all her followers along. Breathe in the pure energy of this sacred water, she tells them, eyes closed, all serene. If only she knew. For 5 years, that pond's been the bathroom for a dozen cows and half a dozen horses. And here she is chanting about purity while my livestock is standing 50 feet away, visibly confused about who these weirdos are on their turf. I walk over, coffee still in hand, trying not to blow a gasket, because Emma's watching from her window, and the last thing she needs is her dad on YouTube for all the wrong reasons. Victoria clocks me, immediately smiles like she's running for Congress, and says, "You must be Jake, the caretaker. We're so grateful you maintain this beautiful public space for everyone." She actually gestured at my pond, my pasture, my trees like she was gifting them to me. Public space, she called it. I almost spit out my coffee, but I kept it together. "Actually, this is private property," I tell her, real calm. "Been in my family 3 generations. That pond's for my animals." I pointed to the cows now staring at us like they're about to call their union rep. But Victoria isn't fazed. She whips out her phone, scrolls to some township survey from 1987 and starts rattling off legalese about community watershed access, saying I can't block public use of natural water resources. She talks like she's on the Supreme Court, but it's clear she's just used to bullying people at HOA meetings. Before I can say another word, she's live posting to the neighborhood Facebook group, sending out hidden gem alerts to 500 local families. By now, I'm picturing a stampede of yoga mats descending on my property. It escalates fast. Victoria's group circles the pond for a gratitude blessing. Someone's brewing artisanal espresso on a portable stove, and the whole thing feels so surreal, I start to wonder if I'm actually awake. But then I see Emma in the window looking worried. She's had a rough year, and I promised her things would get easier, so I decide to play this smart document. Everything stay calm and hope that common sense wins out. You know what I mean? The next morning, Victoria's setting up an actual mobile command center, clipboards, folding tables, more paperwork than a DMV on payday. I try again, friendly as I can. "Victoria, I really need you and your group to find another spot. This is private land." She looks at me like I'm the one who doesn't get it. "We've done our research," she says, "and my attorney Marcus Webb confirms you can't block community access." She even gestures to a man in a suit snapping pictures by my pond. I'm about to lose my mind when Victoria suddenly starts a live interview for Channel 7, yes, actual TV. She calls me a selfish rancher trying to monopolize our region's water, and the reporter, some kid eager for a scoop, eats it up. Within hours, I'm viral for all the wrong reasons. Local news sites pick up the clip, and suddenly I'm that guy, the greedy rancher, the villain hoarding nature from the children. Eco-bloggers are calling for my head. The comment sections explode with righteous anger, and strangers I've never met are calling me the reason the planet is dying. Henderson's Hardware won't sell me feed. The grocery store cashiers start looking through me. Emma's classmates start calling her water stealer, and parents don't want their kids at her birthday party. And then Victoria's lawyer calls. They're filing an injunction to keep me from interfering with community access, citing some 1987 survey and a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. Suddenly letting strangers trespass on my pond is a civil right. That night, the so-called retreat turns into a full-scale occupation. Tents multiply. There's a dining pavilion, solar panels, someone even installs a sound system for ambient acoustic guitar. I realize Victoria doesn't care about the law, just power. She's coming for my land and she's good at it. Things take a twist when, thanks to Victoria's PR blitz, she organizes a water freedom festival, food trucks, live music, hundreds of people all using my pond like it's the local pool. A popular eco-blogger named Madison Chen turns me into the poster child for everything wrong with rural America, spinning my little ranch into an environmental injustice story. But the kicker, Emma, my own kid, goes viral for all the right reasons. She posts a TikTok deadpan. You want to see what's actually in this pond? She films our cows wading in doing their business, explains that it's a livestock bathroom, and does a mic drop with a water testing kit. Maybe test the water before you start calling my dad greedy. The internet explodes. Suddenly, the world knows Victoria's luxury wellness retreat is actually a 5-year-old manure lagoon. Environmental scientists start duetting Emma's video explaining E. coli. The health department shows up in hazmat gear. Parents yank their kids out of the water mid-festival. The headlines flip. Victoria isn't done. She flips the script, files a lawsuit claiming I recklessly endangered families, that I knew the water was dangerous, and that I maliciously let the community use it as some twisted revenge. She's after millions in damages, calling herself the real victim. Even Emma's school freezes me out, and my insurance company suspends my coverage. That's when things get really wild. My neighbor Roy, who's seen more drama in this town than most, reminds me to document every threat, every trespass, every bit of misinformation. Then we remember something, a recording from years back when a woman named Victoria S. came asking about how livestock ponds work. I dig it up. She'd asked for every detail about bacterial buildup, health risks, even how contamination affects property values. She knew exactly what the pond was for before she ever pitched a tent. Turns out Victoria had tried to buy my property months ago through a shell company for pennies on the dollar, contingent on environmental issues being resolved. And get this, her whole crusade started because her son died in a car accident near my ranch years ago. She blamed me, or at least my land, and built this elaborate campaign to ruin me and force a sale. When my day in court finally comes, the room's packed, media locals looky-loos. Victoria's performance is Oscar-worthy, until my attorney plays that old recording. The judge listens as Victoria's voice describes step by step the dangers of livestock ponds, and suddenly it's obvious she orchestrated the whole mess, knowing exactly what she was doing. She snaps, confesses to everything in open court: the plan, the festival, the fake environmental campaign, all an act to punish me for something that wasn't my fault. Victoria's arrested for conspiracy and reckless endangerment, her lawsuits thrown out, and the families she put at risk file a class action suit against her. My reputation finally starts to recover. We build a new fence and put up a sign: private livestock water source not safe for human use. And underneath it a smaller sign: ask first, learn always. You know, after all that, what really sticks with me is how quickly a lie can go viral, how fast a mob can turn, and how sometimes the truth takes a teenage girl with a smartphone and zero patience for adult nonsense to set things right. If you took anything from this mess, let it be this: always ask before you dive into nature, because sometimes what looks pristine is just hiding a whole lot of cow crap under the surface. Hit that like, share your thoughts: who was in the right, who was out of line, and what would you have done if it happened to you? Drop a comment, and hey, don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories. Because in my experience, reality is always wilder than fiction.